Hi, and welcome to HomeBarYVR. Today we are going to go over milk clarified cocktails. So today we're going to do a Mai Tai, which is a tiki style drink, and it calls for two kinds of rum. Today I'm going to be using a Jamaican rum and an agricole rum, and this is made with pure cane sugar. We will also need some orgeat, which is an almond sweetener, I guess you call it, and a nice orange dry curacao. Jamaican rum, agricole. We'll be using an orgeat, which is an almond syrup, and a nice orange dry curacao, which today we're using this Pierre Fernand. And of course some limes. So we're going to do a double batch of this. What you'll need is a measuring glass, a shot glass, a spoon, and some milk, amongst some other things like bitters and some saline solution, which will kind of make your cocktail give it a nice pop. So since we're going to double this recipe, we're going to start with 2 ounces of the Jamaican rum, and we're going to go ahead and do 2 ounces of the rum agricole. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of the dry curacao. So that works out to be 1.5 ounces. If you double it, start our pile over here, I guess. Make sure we're not missing. And we're going to do 1 ounce of the orgeat. So if you're making a single cocktail, it would be just 1/2 ounce of orgeat. So it's an almond sweetener. It's quite nice. Nice. We do also need to do some limes. We're going to need about 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice per drink. So we're going to go for 1.5 ounces of lime juice. These limes are really juicy, which is nice. Usually you can get about 1 ounce out of a lime, depending. I like to juice them, as many times as I can, especially when they're juicy like that. Let's get a little container to throw them in. I like to do them this way first. My chef taught me that. So you kind of make a divot in there and then you flip it over. Same thing with this one. Flip it over. And if you want that extra little oomph, I do it one more time. This really will only work on a really juicy lime. Let's do one more here. Let's just do a small one. Maybe even smaller. This one looks good. And let's give that a go, just up to the 1.5. Perfect. Taking us to the end. Okay. So that's nice. So since we're doing about 2 cocktails here, I'm going to do about 4 to 6 dashes of bitters. When you do add the milk to this cocktail to clarify it, you're going to really reduce a lot of the flavors. So you kind of want to go overboard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do about 6. And then for me, I'm going to add a little pop of that saline solution, give it a nice little oomph. I'm going to do about 6 drops of that also. Awesome. So from now, we're going to give it a little twirl and give it a taste. I think it tastes great. It's definitely strong. You can taste all those flavors. I think we're good to go. Let me give this a quick wipe. So with milk clarified cocktail, you're going to want to do about 20% or 1 in 4 parts milk. So our cocktail today has 2 ounces of rum, 3/4 of an ounce of dry curacao, 3/4 of an ounce of lime. So we're at 3.5, 4. So we're going to do 2 ounces of milk for these 2 cocktails. Because if the cocktail is 4 ounces, that would be 1 ounce of milk. Since we're doubling it, 2 ounces. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's really all that takes. I'm going to give us a quick rinse because I don't want it to curdle. And from here, we're going to pop this cocktail that we've made into the milk. So you want to infuse the cocktail into the milk rather than adding the milk into the cocktail. It helps the drink curdle the full drink rather than if you would add the milk, it's kind of curdling as soon as it hits the drink. This is just the way that I found works the most consistently. So I like to pour it in slowly. And we're going to give it a stir. So as you can see here, you might be able to see it is starting to curdle a little bit. That's great. We want to have those curds because that's going to be what is going to make our drink super clear and super delicious. So let's cover with this with some plastic wrap and we'll let it sit for about an hour. This is a great way to preserve batched cocktails that you made. When I made my mezcal video a couple days ago, I had a bunch of leftover mezcal drinks that I just wasn't really wanting to drink. So what I ended up doing was I milk clarified them, which extends its shelf life. Essentially, you're taking out all of the pieces of the drink that go bad, which is the citrus. And then from there, you can keep the cocktail in your fridge, on your shelf, in cool environment, and it will last for months. So let's leave this and let's come back in about an hour. See ya. This is looking good. Those curds are collecting, and this is exactly what we want to see. So from here, you want to put your funnel on top of your beaker or glass. And you're going to want to pour it right into this funnel. And the first few drops of the cocktail are going to be a little bit cloudy. What you want is you want the milk curds to start to settle at the bottom of the coffee filter, and that will actually help filter your drink through the milk curds. So you don't want to get rid of those. If they stick to the bottom, that's great. Leave them there. So as you can tell, this can be a very slow process. The dripping of the cocktail through the coffee filter and the milk curds can take a while. You don't want to fiddle around with it too much. You don't want your filter to break. You just kind of have to let it do its thing. Sometimes this takes a few hours. Because this is only about 2 cocktails, it should take about 40 minutes or so, maybe even a bit less. Let's see what we get. So I'm kind of liking how it's looking as it's dripping out right now. It looks pretty clear. I'm going to switch this over to the new glass. And now that we've switched over to the new glass, just pour the rest of this liquid that first drained out back into the top of that. And that will get even clearer now that we've done that. If you are still getting some cloudiness, you want to strain it one more time, but keep the milk solids. That's what's going to clear it out. So through the magic of television, we have completed our cocktail, and we are now going to build it into a drink. For a clarified milk cocktail, because it's so clear, you really want that to stand out. You want to get yourself some clear ice. It's a special kind of ice that doesn't have all those cracks and weird white lines. I'm going to pop that in there. Pour our cocktail over top of this. Just up to there. Just going to give that a tiny little stir. And we're going to finish it off with some dried limes for garnish. Let's get a nice big one. Place it right on top. And that is our clarified Mai Tai. Cheers. So good. Super smooth. The milk clarification process takes out all the harshness of the alcohol. Definitely makes the drink a bit sweeter. Really nice. You get a little bit of that bitters. You get the tartness of the lime. I'm going to go enjoy this now. Bye.